Hi, my name is Paul Obiamiwe. I'm a medical doctor by profession and a keen chess enthusiast. I'm attempting to make the improbable transformation from a chess enthusiast or amateur to a chess master.
Hello, my name is Manuel Weeks. I'm the tournament director of the GibTelecom International Chess Festival, which is one of the largest and strongest opens in the world. It's an annual event with many grandmasters coming from different countries. Many of the world's elite players come to play, as well as amateurs who wish to test themselves against some of the world's best players. It's a very unusual tournament because it's held in Gibraltar, so that does not have a very large base of local players. This in itself means that you will never get a large number of local Gibraltarians, and sometimes not even that many Spaniards. But you get an enormous amount of people coming from all different countries of the world. So every year we get around participants from around 40 different countries.
Once your clock has gone below 5 minutes, you're not obliged to keep the score. You may stop scoring.
The choice of Gibraltar is quite deliberate. It's a very symbolic island, and as you can see, we're standing here literally in the middle of the world. To my left over there is the continent of Africa, and to my right north is Europe, and if you go further behind me, you're heading towards the Middle East.
I was very interested to hear of Paul's challenge that he set himself, as I myself am a FIDE master of a comparable strength, who has not actually played for that long myself. And now I tend to choose my tournaments as holiday tournaments, and I'm not as active player as I used to be. And I completely understand the problems that Paul is facing, that many times when you do not play for a long period of time, not only does your knowledge seem to have waned, but of course you have some confidence, some tactical ability, and just the fact that you're not used to playing competitive chess again. And Gibraltar is one of the very strong tournaments, so it's very hard to come here and immediately expect to recover what you were, the powers or the level that you had many years ago. So I believe that Paul will probably need at least 2 or 3 tournaments virtually in a row. He should actually play them one after the other until he becomes more match fit. But for me, it's interesting to watch his progress, and I believe that age is not really a hindrance as long as you keep yourself fit and you believe in yourself and you actually work very hard at your chess.
The chess game, when viewed from the outside by people who don't play chess, tends to have got the unfair reputation of being a bit boring, just for nerds, people who just spend their time thinking. But in fact, chess is an extremely complex and exciting game. As the saying goes, I think, therefore I am. And therefore chess actually mirrors most closely, more than any sport, our personalities, who we are.
Be careful that you start your clocks before you make White's first move. And you
Of course, everybody else that he's playing now is usually a bit younger than him, so he has to also deal with his own physical fitness. from what I've seen of Paul, he seems a very fit individual, so I do not believe this will be a hindrance. For me, it's still interesting to see how long it will take him to get back to his former standards. The tournament is a very strong tournament, and we're very lucky to have as a visitor former world champion and living legend Boris Spassky, who is most famous, unfortunately, for losing a match against Bobby Fischer, although he was world champion himself for 3 years after defeating Tigran Petrosian in 1969, and he's generally regarded as one of the top 10 players of all time. I was national coach of the Australian junior team, and I've been to 8 World Junior Chess Festivals, so I've been very involved in coaching for many years. And for me, it is interesting to look at Paul's games to see which facet of his game has waned during his absence from the chessboard. For me, I always believe that the very first thing that goes away are your tactics, your ability to calculate concrete variations. And in many ways, the first piece of advice you give to somebody is to simply sit down there and do these calculation exercises until you feel your tactical skill is slowly coming back. Of course, you have to be practical and choose openings which are not so complicated, where there's not so much to memorize. So he has to already try to learn new openings of the ones he used to play years ago. Of course, all the knowledge of these openings that he knew many years ago are now out of date, so he cannot rely on them. So he must play simple systems where not too many things can go wrong.
I had 2 interesting games today. One ended in a nice victory, and the other one unfortunately ended in defeat. The second game was actually more interesting. I played my first Grandmaster today at the tournament. His name is David Bursas. He's a 2500 plus player, so very strong, very adept. But I had a good position, I had good chances, but unfortunately I got a bit carried away with my position and decided to try a very, very risky piece sacrifice. And he calmly refuted my sacrifice and put my king in the mating web, at which point I had to gracefully resign. Our post-mortem analysis showed that, I did have some chances, but overall, I think he outthought me and outsaw me in this game, so I'll have to do better against the Grandmasters. A bit more preparation, I think. I hope next time maybe my mosquito theory will work, because like I said, a mosquito can be really dangerous if you let it bite. Well, this Grandmaster didn't let me bite, and he just simply swatted me away. But next time, hopefully I'll get a bite in, and I'll do the business. I started my chess quest in earnest in Gibraltar in January of 2009. Gibraltar is a beautiful scenic place, an ideal place to start a quest such as this. And I did made a creditable performance in the tournament. I made 50% in what was the strongest open tournament in Europe for a long time. I will continue my chess quest by attending tournaments all over the world. I'm due to play in the World Open in Philadelphia at the end of the month, and hopefully I'll be taking part in the African Individual Championship in Libya towards the end of July, where I do stand a realistic chance of actually achieving my goal.